the popular vote in 2016, but for the fact that 3 million votes were somehow fraudulently cast in that election. His makeup does not allow for him to concede defeat. It does not allow for him to take a step of grace or patriotism and acknowledge this moment. He just won't do it. And I don't think we should expect him to do it. And I think it's tragic, but that's Donald Trump.
So what about that, Maggie? I mean, is President Trump going to invite Joe Biden over for tea? Is Melania going to have Jill Biden over? Are they going to have a limo ride over to the inauguration?
I'm selling.
Look, you never say never. If Donald Trump felt that there was some advantage to himself in doing that, then I think he would do both of those things. Joe Biden, as we've talked about before, unlike most other incoming presidents, does not need a tour of the White House. He does not need to be told how grave the threats are globally or domestically. He's been doing this for decades, and he served in an administration for 8 years. But he does, he does care about transitions. He does care about tradition. I think that I agree with David that I think the Democrats are going to remain very angry at the things President Trump won't do. I agree with David Axelrod that the president's never going to do it. I think Joe Biden is actually not one of the Democrats who needs that to happen. I don't think that he is taking it personally. I don't think that he.
Yeah, well, all you need is 10
whether
badges.
the president does this or not. He cares more about what he's going to do because Joe Biden is one of the few people who has been pretty clear for the last 2 years.
All you need is 10 shooting badges.
On how Donald Trump will act in those
That's
cases.
all I have right now.
I
haven't missed yet.
You know who could pick up the phone and should pick up the phone tonight is Mitch McConnell, David Gergen, a guy who's worked with Joe Biden for decades.
I'm glad you pointed that out, John. When Joe Biden died, at the funeral, there was only one Republican senator who came, and that was Mitch McConnell. So I think that Joe Biden can look looking forward to this.
It's because PG went in.
I think it's very, very unlikely that
but he probably tried to get the board.
As to say that Joe Biden is.
He isn't going for the love.
However, I don't think Democrats ought to walk away from this issue. 50 million Americans or more out there believe that he's coming to office by fraud. And it seems to me the Democratic Party has a strong interest in pushing back on that theory and just not allowing to sit out there. Well, we can't get him to change, so why don't we just move on? I don't think that's acceptable. I think what he's doing is unacceptable.
Deep.
Maggie, I want to thank you very much for your reporting and help tonight. David Axelrod, David Gergen, stick around. We still have a lot to talk about, including much more on what this breaking news means for Joe Biden's attempt to set his agenda. With a little bit less than 2 months until he's sworn in as the 46th president, we're going to have a live report and reaction from his campaign. Also, the latest on the day's other big news, a third vaccine. What this news means is cases skyrocket and Americans ignore CDC advisories about gathering for Thanksgiving. That's what 360
I'm going to play like 1 or 2 more after this. I'm going to dip for like 10 minutes. You guys.
Anderson Cooper 360 is brought to you by Wonderful Pistachios. No shells.
Wait.
I think that it just needs to move on, and I think Colt needs to move on. Colt, we need to go.
I guess we need to go.
No.
I swear you have like all these looks you give me.
Oh, this guy's circle now? What the heck?
Feel like your gaze upon me.
I was spamming RO and square.
I have
Why am I circle?
We switched like every game.
Bye, baby. Thanks for coming.
Hey.
Oh, yo, look at that. I got that double take. I got that double jump. That double jump. Nah, it's spot up precision. Watch, it's probably gonna work like Limitless.
And forget what happened.
Oh!
I'm gonna give it a chance for her too. Give it a chance. And both.
Because spot up is like off
Don't
the catch
want
and
the
shoot.
chance.
No, if I'm anywhere but like from Limitless, I guess. I think that could have went if I get Hall of Fame deep phase. I mean deep phase. Keep saying deep phase. Green.
I'm not doing it. This wedding's off.
Oh my god.
Hey.
You're gonna be drunk if you do that game.
How's that not green?
Be careful.
Smooth driving pays off. You've never been in better hands. Allstate. Quicker call for a quote today.
What do you want to try burger meat with plants?
Plants.
It's delicious.
Yes, sir.
I